Thursday have our last helmets practice, which really doesn't really count, But that'd be a lot of preparation for Saturday. Where Saturday we'll try to get about 100 reps. The two scrimmages that we've got about 100 each. So the spring game's about the same thing. We won't. We'll do it like we've done in the past. We won't pick teams or any of that goofy stuff some other teams do. Just like doing what we've been doing with the scrimmages, because that's kind of what they're used to, and I feel like that's the best way to get more work to close out spring. So this is the last one. You get to week 5 and spring practice, everybody's like, wanting it to be open, or want it to be over, obviously, but I think we'll get some good work in today, and then get through the spring game on Saturday.
What do you find out? What do you like? What don't you like near the end of this?
Yeah, it's still way too early to tell, honestly. A lot of guys are getting reps. There's a chance this team could have as much talent as any team that we've had since I've been here. I don't think that exclusively wins football games. We still got to develop a lot of continuity on, each phase of the game, which is going to, once you add 10 new guys in May and 10 new guys in June and 10 new guys in July, guys that potentially can be some contributors, I don't think you're going to figure out what the overall chemistry of the team is until, somewhere in the neighborhood of September at some point, So I'm not worried about that now, just technique and, coaching guys. That's really the only thing that we're focused on. And, each time we get out here, we get a little bit better at something. So I expect to get out there today and get a little bit better at something.
How's the leadership and the togetherness been? I know that was a big part of last year.
It was, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to chemistry. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We got talent. We got older guys. A lot of our seniors last year were 5th-year guys. If you look at the seniors this year, there's a lot of transfers. So I think it's going to be, which is really my job more than anything, is developing those leaders and developing chemistry and a team that really likes each other and wants to fight hard for each other. I think that's going to be huge in June, in parts of July and a little bit of August heading into the season. I don't think we can do that right now. I just don't think this team is there yet.
We've seen the cornerback battle playing out when you got so many people vying for positions that were filled by guys who aren't on the roster anymore.
Yeah, it's similar to what it was last year, really. I mean, if you look, you had Rasul and you had Crawford and you had Maurice Fleming, guys that were transfers, older guys that hadn't played a whole lot of football here. Where this year you're kind of the same way. Your battle, who's been making plays. Hakeem Bailey has really looked good at times. He's got good length, and I like where he's at. Mike Davis has shown some flashes of being okay. And we got another senior coming in with the Syracuse kid that's coming in here in about another month. So I think it's going to be similar to where we were, older guys that just haven't played a ton for us but have ability to be able to play, like where we're at there.
Notice a lot of 3-year JC guys. What's the thought process there? Is it older guys that don't have to develop as much?
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit more popular. We got our eye on a couple more right now as we're currently speaking. I think when Wick gets out on the road next Monday, he's going to be looking for more because we got some room to be able to fill some of those guys. I think it's becoming more popular because guys they redshirt and then they play, and then they get out. They academically can get out. So it seems like it's becoming a little bit more popular. I talked to a guy, and I can tell you who it is, but a guy we're trying to bring in this weekend, that they won't even let him practice this spring at the junior college that he's at because they know he can get out and somebody's going to take him this spring. Yeah. So the junior college coaches are aware of this as well, and they see 3-year guys getting picked off their rosters because everybody's needing guys to come in and fill a void. You go through spring, you go, oh crap, we're a little bit we're a little bit down at receiver, so let's go find one. I got room for a couple, so let's go find them. We've talked a lot about this recruiting thing. I used to panic on signing day when we didn't fill our slots. Now I would rather have about 4 of them left and go through spring and see what we need, and then go out and spring recruit some of these junior colleges or grad transfer guys and fill the spots on what we need for immediate help. It's paid off for us in the past, and I look for that trend to continue.
I noticed that a lot of schools are following suit with you on a 4-year deal. I know Oklahoma's done that a little bit, which they hadn't done before. That's another person or team you got to.
Yeah, well, yeah, Oklahoma State's done it more than Oklahoma has here recently, and I saw that they're in on a couple of guys right now. It's what are your needs? You better fill them now, or you're going to get exposed. So it's been good for us, and I would look for other teams to continue to do it. I don't think that's going to stop. There was some talk last May and the year before May about that kind of stopping, the grad transfer thing stopping. I don't see it stopping.
Dana, when you're trying to find a running back coach, you would think to maybe look at a running back coach, but Tony had never done it before, but he'd certainly learned quite a bit from guys like Calvin or Rich. That interview process, what in particular about his presentation stood out where you said, you know what, this is a good idea?
Presence was the number one thing that struck me with him. He's got that voice that carries across the room. You know, he's just got really good presence about him. Recruiting was important. With our running backs, you got to teach receiver skills. So he's got, J1 wasn't a running back coach prior to getting here either, I don't think, or maybe he was for a year or so. To me, a skill guy on offense is a skill guy on offense, whether it's running backs, receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, all those are they're all the same. They're in a lot of the same meetings and run a lot of the same drills. So, I mean, he's brought some presence to the room. He's brought receiving stuff. He's got good ideas when it comes to that. I don't think you need to hire guys that just have a expertise at one specific position. Gibby was a DB coach his whole career until he started coaching linebackers a few years ago, and to me that's an easy transition as well. I think offense to defense, front to back end is another story, but the same side of the ball, kind of either the front end or the back end type thing, skill guy line thing, that to me is a little bit bigger difference.
Boss still that sort of experiment at left guard, or you feel like he's there cross training? What?
He hadn't moved. I don't know. It looks good to me. To me, I don't think with him it matters. He's played so much ball. Left guard, right guard doesn't matter. I think once you settle in, you stay on either the left side or the right side over the long haul. But short-term wise, that doesn't matter, and then just kind of, getting used to either putting your left hand on the ground or the right hand on the ground is probably important. But for him, he's played so much ball, it doesn't matter. Wick does a good job of moving those guys around and getting them, which is different than how we've done it the last 4 years, but just getting them to play multiple positions is something that's always been important to him.
So he's not too fat to snap.
He's not fat to snap. He got mad at me for saying that too. I had to apologize to him. He's just, the center it's a different animal, and hadn't had many that can really just be a dominating guard and just dabble in center a little bit and be good at it. That to me is kind of tough. We've been so happy with Matt that's important, and then just repping Rollerson as much as we can at center is going to pay off. And then, Jacob was playing really good at center too, so we felt like we had 3 and we didn't need them. We got 2, and we're going to get Jacob back. He'll be cleared late August, so we'll have him available. So we feel like we got good centers now, and we're kind of set up for the future as well.